Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Virtual Sunlight Championship for Race 6 from Mount Panorama, otherwise known as Bathurst, otherwise known as that track I hate, or love. Okay, look at the current championship standings. Steve F1 leading the way by 8 points over Demon R, who's got a bit of a gap over SGP, and there's only 4 points back to Art Pal. Conrod's in 5th place, unable to race today, and he's ahead of Dave the Harp, who's only 1 ahead of Twilight, who's only 2 ahead of Formula Gary. SRI's in 9th place, 6 ahead of Jason in 10th, who's 1 ahead of Jimmy in 11th, who's 2 ahead of Bob, who can't race today. Rich Blues in 13th place on 20 points, ahead of Hay in 14th on 14, and then we've got the non-scorers. Right, let's head over to the Aussies. So here we go then, Bathurst for the Virtual Sunlight Championship. We've got a formation lap where Demon R is on pole position, and in the commentary box we've got Ray. How you doing, Ray? Or should I say, good day, mate, how you doing?
I'm doing very well, sorry I ain't fucking trying. Thank your accent.
Well, someone who is trying is Steve F1, who second place on the grid. He's going to be... I'm not doing an accent. I'm not... Art Pal is going to be third. Who's that in fourth, Raymond, when we jump onto him?
When we jump onto him, it's going to be Twilight.
Is it? I thought it's Jason. Oh, no, it is Twilight. Sorry, there's a name above his head.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and then we'll discuss that after the lap. SGP, you put me off.
I am, haven't I? Put you off. So yeah, SGP in 5th place. Jason is in 6th place. Now, obviously, a few of the viewers, if you haven't noticed already, there are names above the drivers' heads. We've got a different cameraman today who, unfortunately, doesn't have a keyboard where he can turn the drivers' names off. So you just have to put up with it for today. As Dave the Harp, though, 7th place, SRI in 8th place, as they make their way over the mountain on what is an important formation lap. Is there only 8 cars? Oh no, there they are.
Jimmy in 9th. We don't even need to tell them what position they can see for themselves this week.
It's a lot easier to know what position they're in when the name's above their head.
Gary.
Yeah, coming down the S's, fantastic part of the racetrack. And then we've got Rich Blues at the back of the grid in 11th place. Couple of drivers unable to make it. Hey, hope you're feeling all right. Conrad and Bob also unable to make it. So back up at the front then. Demon Art leading the way on this formation lap. Steve F1 though leading the championship. Got a very good result last week. With Demon R having a poor result. As for the start of this race though, once the drivers are through the final corner, there's a gantry. At that point the leader can choose when they're going to go, but nobody can overtake until the start finish lights, which are a little bit further down the start finish straight. Also something to bear in mind around this track, folks, is the pit entry is evil. It usually catches somebody out as Demon R heading around the final corner, and this now, Ray, is all about who's got their tyres warmed up, who's got their brakes warmed up as Demon R goes and the race is underway.
Yeah, Steve F1 and Art Pal try to stick with him. Oh, Demon R went a wee bit wide. Twilight, he's well wide.
Yeah, he went a wee bit wider and a wilder bit. Steve F1's got to run on Demon R, so yeah, Demon R got a bit wide, bit wobbly on the curb as well. Steve F1 taking first place, however, he's on the outside line as Art Pal's coming under pressure as well from the SGP. Can Steve F1 hold it round the outside? No, he can't. It's a little bit too dirty out there. And in the background as well, I think Dave the Arb got a bit wide. SGP does get past Art Pal. And perhaps SGP's experience around this track showing us he's already on the hunt to try and take second place off Steve F1 as Gary on the pack cam is giving the wall a little bit of a kissing.
Yeah, this is a difficult part of...
Sorry.
Yeah, this is a difficult part of the track. Coming up the mountain and then down the mountain.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a quick change of elevation. As we see SGP just hanging in the back there. And yeah, Dave the Harp had I don't know what happened, but he did lose 2 places.
Yeah. He went wide, I think, at turn 2, got caught out on the marbles. I think he may have hit the barrier somewhere else as well. Jason's up to 5th. I think Twilight, with it going wide at the first corner, I think he's dropped all the way to the back, as on the pack cam, Dave the Arp trying to make a move on Formula Gary, as the front 3 now break away a little bit. And something that we're going to have to keep an eye on, folks, is the fuel. I can't imagine anybody's going to be going for a 1-stop. I think Dave the Harp did get past Gary. Yes, he did. I wasn't watching that, unfortunately, but it's there on the pack cam for everybody to see as SGP.
Oh, Rich spun round in the background there.
It wasn't Rich, it was Twilight.
Was it Twilight?
Yeah. Dodgy livery must be. But yeah, I think it's Twilight. He's back at the back, unfortunately. Demon R breaking away. SGP, is he going to go for a move? You've usually asked the question, Ray, on occasion. Where's the best place to overtake? Into turn 2 is a brilliant place to overtake around this track.
Yeah, especially when you've got these twists and turns coming up, because you can defend them a wee bit easier because the track isn't really that wide.
Absolutely. And it's not like all the way up the hill, you're not slowing down really, are you? It's only down the hill you're slowing down. So it's kind of like speeding up and speeding down.
Like most of these turns up here are flat out, and then it's once you hit this bridge or whatever it is, I don't know what it is, Barrett, gantry.
Yep.
You're kind of on the brakes, and then a few other times round here. As you can see, the brake lights coming on.
I tell you what, some of these camera angles really do get close to the car. Oh, someone's in the barrier on the exit of Forest Elbow, heading onto the Conrod straight. I just saw somebody sort of sideways there. Okay, should mention, I usually try and get it out there. The fuel, tyres should be absolutely fine for everybody. The fuel, though, I don't think we're going to be seeing anybody doing a 1-stop unless it's perhaps Jimmy doing a lean. Someone kicking up a bit of dust.
Oh, is it kicking up dust? I thought they were off the track, but but it says Twilight's on the pits.
Yeah, heading to the pit lane. I'm not surprised that. Oh, yeah.
Rich was sliding round the corner.
Well, I'd expect nothing. Oh no, it's Jimmy who's usually sliding sideways, isn't it? But yeah, I was going to say fuel-wise, I reckon we should be on for a comfortable 2-stop, maybe 3 stops for some. Twilight pitting when he has, I don't blame him, as Dave the Arp putting some pressure now on SRI and adjacent on Artpal, but Artpal and SRI in the perfect defensive positions up the inside into 2. That's where the grip is. On the outside, there isn't a lot of grip. SRI, go on.
Dave the Harp's got round the outside of SRI.
Maybe he's just got bigger balls. Well, actually, no, I don't think Dave's got 6 kids, so... SRI's trying to go back past. That's not going to work there up the hill, as Twilight and Rich battling as well. I mean, you mentioned about, not easy to overtake up this part of the track. Absolutely right. In slower cars, maybe. In cars this quick, there just really isn't an opportunity. Even down here on the brakes, I'd say it's got to be single file. You could end up side by side, but it's not going to be very quick.
Yeah, I think SRI's just putting his nose in there to scare people. Yeah,
could well be. Looking on the track map as well, it looks like Demon R at the front has broken away a little bit from Steve F1. Yeah, he has. Steve F1's got a bit of a gap to SGP. Dave the Arp and SRI still going at it. Down the Conrod straight, this time Dave with the inside line for the kink.
Yeah, SRI had the slipstream from Jason, but... they went back to single file. SRI on the grass.
Well, I tell you what.
Dave the Harp's going for the pits.
Oh, Dave going for an early pit stop as well, maybe to cover off Twilight. Formula Gary had a Code Brown moment just before SRI did. I think Gary got on the dirt when he was hitting the brakes. There's a lot of dust at turn 1. I think Artpal's had a bit of a tricky corner there. It can happen, and it is easy in these cars to dip a wheel when you're about to apply the brakes. It can happen. So Artpal holds on though. Gary though, is he bump drafting SRI? I think he might be.
Jason jumped out of the slipstream from Artpal. He never stayed in it, he jumped out. And that's Artpal's got a wee bit more of a gap now.
Oh, Artpal got sideways though, through into the left-hander here. I mean, maybe Jason's thinking fuel. He's got half a tank, and how far? We're what, 9 minutes in? Take off 2 minutes for the formation lap. 7 minutes, half a tank. Try and go another 7 minutes, so 14 minutes. That'd work out pretty good for a two-stop strategy, wouldn't it?
I don't know. Don't ask me.
Good answer. Let's see if you do know something. What's red and smells like blue paint?
Don't know.
Red paint.
What?
Red paint.
Red paint?
Yeah.
Oh, because the paint smells the same.
Jason making a move on Artpal. He's not saving fuel now. Step down the Conrod straight. Just gets ahead. This braking zone I found to be quite interesting. If you really don't brake in the right way or downshift in the right way, it's very easy to go straight on. Okay, Jason peeling into the pits with plenty of fuel in. That's strategic. Who else is in the pits? SRI. Ooh, I did say pits, not on the piss.
Yeah. Yeah, and let's let these boys get away a bit, then they could be... They might have to watch for the undercut as well.
Yeah.
I don't know how powerful the undercut is going to be until we see the leaders start doing their pit stops.
Well, on the pack cam, Dave the Harp, he's just ahead of Rich Blues. Rich giving him a little bit of a nudge. SGP was close to Steve F1, got too close maybe, and then got sideways. He's now dropped out of slipstream range. Rich Blues still giving Dave a bit of a bump draft. Rich getting wobbly and wide into the wall. Oh, it's easy to do when you touch the marbles. As for the undercut, I mean, Twilight is in 7th at the moment, ahead of everybody else who's pitted. Definitely will be interesting. I mean, looking at the track map, there's not a big gap between the leaders and where Twilight is. I mean, Twilight is sort of very close, actually, to Jimmy already.
So yeah, sorry, I was watching, but I
Right.
was watching it in track match. I wasn't watching.
Well, Dave just had a massive sideways moment. Okay, so Jason, Rich Blues, and SRI. These three have pitted not long ago. SRI flashing his lights on Rich Blues, trying to put him off. So Twilight is closing in on Formula Gary, and Gary has not pitted yet. The leader is only just now going into the first. Actually, no, the leader's in the pits. Oh, Gary, he's on the grass.
I think there was a wee bit of contact there.
Yeah, I
Twilight seems to have slowed down and made sure he never gained an advantage there.
Absolutely. Oh, he's got an advantage now, though. Nice move by Twilight. He'll want to try and get ahead and get that braking done for turn 1 so he can then get a bit of a run. Steve F1 then leading the race now ahead of SGP. I don't know where Demon R is coming out or has come out, but it's going to be a long way behind Twilight. I'm wondering if Demon R has pitted. It's just ahead of Jason on the pack cam. So 8th place, Demon R has come out.
He's come out 8th place just ahead of... Who, sorry?
Jason.
Jason?
Yeah.
Dave the Harp's at the pit stop and he's ahead of...
Demon R.
Demon
Yeah.
R.
Absolutely.
I bet Dave the Harp's was early, so...
Yeah.
Has he got 2 more to go?
Well...
Or has he got 1 more to go?
Oh, SGP's had a big spin over the top of the mountain. And here comes Artpal. Can he get past? Not on this occasion. SGP's just... he's sideways and so's Artpal. I think SGP definitely overheated. Oh, Artpal. Oh, no. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear. And here comes Twilight saying, what a move. What a change in circumstances in the race. I think Artpal's under a pressure now from Gary, and Artpal's tyres are going to be cold and hot. Oh, Jimmy's sideways. Oh, and coming around that corner is Demon R and Jason. Holy cow. It's all kicking off here. Demon R and Jason actually side by side now. Gary trying to close in on Artpal. Yeah, there is Demon R and Jason. So Demon R was ahead, but not anymore. Jason is. Is SGP going to peel into the pits? No, he's not.
No.
Neither Steve. Ooh.
Twilight, he's already pitted.
Yeah. Well, you asked about Dave the Harp.
Miles went on the pit.
Yep. Dave the Harp pitted the lap after Twilight did. So, I mean, well, let's see. He's got a bit over half a tank. And we've got 26 minutes to go. And maybe 2 more stops. It'd be interesting.
Free stopper.
Possibly. I mean, I'm not sure why Twilight pitted as early as he did, if it was a strategic call, unless it was a bit like, if you think about last week, there was a lot of cars that suffered in the traffic last week. But having said that, Twilight suffered at the end of the race with 0 fuel in his car. So he's going to want to make sure he doesn't do that again. Gary, though, now in 4th place with Dave the Art behind him, Jason behind him, Demon R behind him, SRI behind him. And this all starting to get a little bit busy. And this is where the drivers are going to have to be careful as well. Because although Dave and the following cars may want to get a move on, as we've already said, it's not easy to win around here. At least not at this bit.
Not at this point.
Yeah. Now, the good thing, Dave got a bit of a wobble on. And that, see, Jason's tagged the back of him there. And not a lot he could do. It's so easy to get a wobble on. SRI trying to put some pressure on Demon R as well. Excuse me, get ready for this. That was my impression of SGP. Actually, no, that should be yeah, on the pack. I thought it had froze for a moment then. I think that was Rich Blues. It was Demon R. Oh, definitely coming under pressure from SRI. Steve F1 into the pits. Side by side they go. Bob.
In the pits.
Oh, SRI trying to get up the inside of Jason as well. And ends up backing out of it just in time. Yeah, SGP in the pits. Interesting. So Gary now peels into the pits as well. And this is why I think it's wise that these guys didn't go too aggressive on Gary. They could have done that and ended up losing more time. Okay. What have we got? What's that? Oh, anything you can do, I can do too.
Yeah. One job and one job too.
Yeah. Code Brown, Code Browner. Okay, so Twilight leading the race. He's got quite an... Oh, Dave's into the barrier, I think. And I think Demon R might have been as well.
Yeah, I think Demon R just clipped it to give it a wee bit of spark.
It's the only spark he's getting in life. So yeah, Twilight's got a nice lead, but we know he pitted early. Okay, Demon R's got more fuel than Jason at the moment, about 1/4 of a tank more. SRI, when did he pit? I think it was same time as Jason, wasn't it?
I'm not too sure, I think. No, it may have been before Jason, I'm not too sure.
Okay.
I can't remember.
I'm not sure if Jimmy's pitted. Got a bit under half a tank. I would guess he hasn't. Steve F1 closed. Oh, Jimmy sideways. Can he save it? Oh, no, he can't. Into the barrier. This is where Steve F1 will be open. He's going to stay ghosted or stay out of the way, which he's managed to do. Well avoided. Okay, so still a lot going on up at the front here then. I mean, it definitely makes it interesting with the different strategies. I mean, how do you think Twilight and Dave the Harp are going to approach this? Or Demon R having a look around the outside, trying to do Jason on the brakes. Oh, a little bit of touching, and SRI trying to get in there as well. Jason holds on, and Dave the Harp's peeling into the pits.
Oh, I don't know. Let's see.
Oh, Jason, sorry, he's had a massive wobble on the exit curb of the final corner. That's given Demon R a bit of a run down into one. Can he get round the outside, side by side? Jason on the curb, and SRI still, he's there, sticking his nose in. He's not letting Jason have that slipstream, is he?
No, but Demon
R's giving it. Oh, but this now gives SRI an opportunity up the inside. Side by side to go nearly. Oh, it's a lovely bit of driving from the three of them there. Dave the Arp coming out the pits. Who is that he's just ahead of? I do not know.
I don't have a clue.
I don't either. Oh, SRI got a big wobble on there. Okay, so Dave the Harp's pitted with 23 minutes to go. He is not getting to the end. But he did have 30 odd litres of fuel left in the car. So, maybe a short stop. gain some places and time now. It'll be interesting to see what he does later on in the race. Because I was going to ask you what would be going through Twilight and David Harp's sort of mind as what they're going to do for strategy, and then David Hart pitted. So what do you think Twilight's going to do?
I think they're just going to... well, Twilight's in front. Oh, SGP.
Yeah.
Hope nobody comes round that corner and smashes into him.
Well, interesting. Sorry, the car behind him is now Dave the Arp. It was Gary that Dave the Arp came out of, so Dave's in 9th. Sorry, carry on.
So Twilight's in first, so he's got no traffic to worry about just now. So if he could keep spreading his legs and get a gap so he can put in and then use a boost again, it might put him in a good position at the end.
Absolutely. Interestingly, look at just how many marbles there are now at the final corner spotted on that occasion. We may see them also at exit of 1 or around 1 and turn 2. But yeah, final corner is definitely a lot of marbles, and it just goes to show that if you do get offline around a track like this, it can be costly in some of these corners. It's why we'll say that down into this corner, turn 2, or Griffins as it's known, the inside line is the line you preferably want to be on, because that's where the grip is. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Art Powell behind Steve F1. So Steve F1 has actually fallen back into the clutches a little bit of Art Powell. But I think Art Powell pitted before Steve F1.
Yeah, I'm sure he did. Oh, Twilight's in his last couple of laps of fuel before he'll need to pit. SRI's near enough the same.
Yeah.
Demon R's got about half a tank or more.
Yeah, about a third. Oh, someone got wobbly then. Steve F1's got lots. Art Pal, I think, has got plenty. SGP, plenty. Jimmy, I think he's trying to one-stop it. I tell you what, if he's not pitted yet, he's all right for the one-stop. He can pit now and get to the end. David Hart recently pitted. Gary, recently pitted. Jimmy. Oh, sorry, Rich, yeah. Sorry, I saw a car sideways into it. Jimmy.
You assumed.
Jimmy. Yeah, you know what assume does, doesn't it? It makes an ass out of you and me.
Well, it makes an ass out of you, not me.
True. Well, yeah. Sorry, what's red again? It smells like blue paint. Look at the marbles. Twilight! He had a big wobble then, and interestingly, Demon R is now right on his rear end. I'm wondering if Twilight's had a bit of a mare of a lap, or, as you mentioned, very low on fuel now, so maybe he's gone for an extra mega fuel save to try and get another lap. Here we go then, change of lead coming up, I believe. I don't think Twilight's going to be able to do anything about it other than pitting soon to then try and get the undercut once again.
Yeah. Well, he's only got the fuel to do it, so I think he's got this lap and then he needs to pit. As we see side by side, Art Pal, SJP, there's a wee bit of driving. They're going to single out. A couple of touches of the wall there, SJP and Jimmy. Yep.
I'd expect that kind of thing, though, around here. It's so easily done. SRI.
I wasn't saying Twilight. I wasn't saying they were wall riding.
No.
Just a couple of
touches. SRI putting a lot of pressure on at Twilight now. Actually, SRI hasn't got a lot of fuel. I think he's going to be pitting at the end of this lap. I don't know how much fuel Twilight's got, but if you can hold SRI where he is.
He's got less than SRI.
Okay. Jason, well, the thing is, I mean, I'm looking at it. If they pit now, it's going to be, 16 and a half to 17 minutes as SRI pulls out for the first time ever to get into second place. So what's that? Pulling out to go for number 2. Dirty boy. Oh, dear.
Speaking of number 2, I went to the doctor because my horse has been sore. Said he was like saying, "Can you tell me exactly where it hurts?" I said, "Right around the entrance. It's really sore."
That's the problem. It's not an entrance. Well,
he said, "My advice is that for as long as you call it an entrance, it will hurt."
Yeah, exactly. While you were telling that terrible joke, Twilight and SRI have pitted, but are going to have about 16 minutes to go. Artpal trying to make a move on SGP here. Artpal's got a bit over a quarter of a tank. The question now is going to be, not just can Artpal get ahead, but he can, is can Twilight and SRI get to the end? 16 minutes? It'd take a lot of fuel saving.
I don't know. We'll soon find out.
That we will. Okay, Demon R leading the race once again, and got a bit of a gap to Jason, who is in second now.
Oh, Dave the Harp cupping inside wall.
I would guess that was on the pack cab, because I don't
No, it
think
was on the back of this.
Oh.
You can just see him.
Sorry, I was just doing the fans' impression of the fans as the cars are coming down the hill. Ooh. Good eye. Mate. Artpal go for a wide entry.
Yeah, I've seen a different line there.
Yeah, it might have worked for him actually. So let's have a look. Steve F1 has got a bit less than half a tank of fuel, which is interesting because, I mean, I would say 13 minutes-ish to get to the end comfortably, and we're just over 15 minutes left in this race. Someone like Steve F1 could possibly pit now and fuel save like we know he can. Oh, here we go. Action in the pit lane. Jason, Steve F1, Artpal in the pits. I think there might be more in the pits. Jason in the pits. Jimmy in the pits. SGP in the pits. Holy cow. Okay, so
everybody's in the pits.
Apart from SRI, who's in the great kitty litter, just misses the barrier. Is SRI ahead of Twilight? I don't know. Okay, so Demon R did not pit, and he's not got a lot of fuel in that car, eh?
Yeah, he only be putting this lap. SRI is ahead of Twilight.
Yes, he is. Dave the Harp got a bit less than half a tank. He's got one more pit stop to do. It'll be interesting to see when he's going to make that stop. I didn't see how much Gary had.
SRI's only got a half a tank.
Did he short fill?
He must have short filled. He must have known he wasn't going to make it to the end and do a short fill.
I think you might be right because he's way ahead of Twilight, which would suggest a short fill. Interesting tactic there for SRI. Get a bit of a boost now, and well, it's going to be less of a boost, isn't it? Rich Blues heading into the pit lane. Yeah, there's a lot just happened on that lap, and even though Demon R had a bit of a gap, if we're looking at about a 6-second undercut, he could end up losing the lead of the race here, which is what I would expect, given these guys pitting the lap that they did.
Up dust. I don't know if it was Steve F1 or if it was Jason. Is that in front or is that Twilight?
It's Twilight. Well, thinking about it, Twilight will have had 2 laps over Demon R, potentially 12 seconds of an undercut. That could be huge. Demon R then into the pits with pretty much nothing in the tank. Yeah, 0%. Dave the Harp then, is he going to do a... Yeah, he's doing a cheeky one, isn't he? Into the pits. Oh, no, he's not going in. Is he going in? No, he's not. Oh, Dave. Disaster. Oh, come on, get it in. Get it in. Eventually, Gary's in as well. Oh, dear, oh, dear, oh, dear.
SRI.
Oh,
so that's what SRI's done.
Yeah, so that's, you know what, it's an interesting tactic that from SRI. If he knew he wasn't going to get to the end, he had to pit anyway. So yeah, interesting. Questioning now will be, where is Demon R going to come out? Twilight, it says there, leading the race, heading through turn 1 with Steve F1 right behind him. But Demon R is up the road. He's ahead.
Yeah.
Some say he's a dickhead.
But remember, he's got to get his tyres warmed up as well, so...
Oh, yeah.
Twilight just has to attack, but then if Twilight's needing to save fuel, he can't attack.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I'm looking at now. Also, I'm hearing there's been a disaster in the pit lane. Dave the Harp has not taken any fuel on board.
Oof. That's going to hurt.
It definitely is, isn't it? Oh, Twilight really is on the back of Demon R here. I wonder if you were right about Demon R having to get his tyres up to temperature. I'm also hearing as well that Formula Gary took new tyres when he didn't want to. The team's saying, though, have these, they'll help. They're them special ones like, what's his name, gave to that Top Gun guy.
Special ones gave to the Top Gun guy?
Yeah. The special race tyres that weren't special at all. For Tom Cruise in... Days of Thunder.
Alright.
You know, if you have to explain a tedious link, it's not as effective. Okay, Dave the Art making a move on Art Pal, but Dave the Art, I think he's going to be into the pits again very soon. So Demon R ahead of Twilight, and everyone behind them is going to have to fuel save a little bit. Dave the Harp, though, when he gets into the pits, see, peeling into the pits. Let's see how much fuel it shows him having if we can see it.
18.
So he went in with about 28 or 38, something like that, 31. An error from the crew not filling the tank, but Dave's now going to be able to fill it and go hell for leather while he screams bloody blue murder at his pit crew. I wouldn't want to be in that pit box.
Yeah.
Imagine telling him that message. Dave, really good pit stop, but...
Turn 2 there.
Yeah, really good pit stop, Dave, but we forgot to put you some fuel.
But that, you can walk it home.
Oh dear, some will get that, some won't. That's brilliant. Okay, so Demon R leading the race, opening up a little bit of a gap to Twilight. Twilight, though, still ahead of Steve F1. This is all now going to come down to who will have the fuel and who won't. Who can save it, who can't. He's
done that twice. Jimmy just slides past him.
Jimmy doesn't see no obstacle. He would probably been sideways anyway. This is going to be quite difficult, I think, for me and Ray to really keep an eye on. But as the camera flicks through the cars, keep an eye on the fuel levels, guys. Because it could become critical. Remember, Twilight has pitted a lap earlier than Steve F1, SGP, Jason, Jimmy, Art Pal, who all pitted at the same time. Although Jimmy, I think, was on a one-stop, may not be able to push to the end, may have to mega fuel save. SRI shouldn't have to fuel save because he did an extra pit stop. Interesting strategy to see if it works for him. For Steve F1, though, I think, if he doesn't get past Twilight soon, Demon R is gone.
Yeah, he needs to push pass.
Push to pass? Can you do that?
No, push pass. Not to pass. He's looking to go round outside. Or is he going to go for a switch?
Well, I don't think he's going for the switch. I think that was just good defence from Twilight there. From experience going... If you want to go past me at turn 2, you're going to have to go round the outside. Because it's one of those, if someone goes round the outside of you at turn 2, you put your hand up and say, well done, fair play, what a move.
I'll remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Unless you do it to me, then you get deleted off the G-spot.
As we see in the pack cam, everybody, who's that, Jason? Got a queue behind them.
Yeah. Would you like to explain why you keep mistaking Twilight for Jason?
Because Twilight has changed his livery and not messaged the page.
Oh, has he now? Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that's a bit naughty, isn't it? Oh, on the pack cam behind Art Pal. It's getting busy with SRI and Jimmy. Can Steve F1 make a move on the main screen? I don't think he can. No, I think Steve F1 knows he's got to save fuel as well. Oh, this is busy.
It's mega busy.
Oh, they all get through quite nicely, though. Lovely bit of driving there. It's a catch-25. Oh, that's a little wobbly. Oh, on the pack cam. Jason and Opal sideways a bit. And SRI through the middle as Steve F1 still can't get past Twilight. SRI. Oh, Jason on the pack cam. Oh, dear. I'll have to work out what dear me is in Swedish. Oh, Steve F1, sorry, going for the move now. Twilight's left the... Well, he hasn't left the door open, has he? But,
No,
Steve, go on.
Steve's trying to go around the outside. Around the outside, around the outside.
Yeah, can't quite get it done. Quick question for you. Sonic the Hedgehog, Rupert the Bear, and Gandalf the Grey have got what in common?
That's not a quick question.
It is.
Sonic the Hedgehog,
Yep,
Rupert the Bear.
yep. And Gandalf the Grey. What have they all got in common?
Wizards?
No. They've all got the same middle name.
Alright.
Okay, so I thought I'd squeeze that one in there as we had a little bit of time. So Steve F1 now has half a tank of fuel and there's just under 6 minutes to go. How does that compare to the others?
Yeah, what's Twilight got?
Well, I don't know. Is the cameraman going to show us? Are we going to get to see? Are we going to get to see what SGP's got?
See, we got a new cameraman and we're still seeing the same shit.
The camera's been on Steve F1 for a while now, hasn't it? On the pack cam, Formula Gary had a quick look at making a move on Art Pal into the chicane, couldn't quite get it done. Steve F1 close once again, Twilight a little wobbly. Yeah, so he's closer on this occasion, I think.
Yeah, Twilight just tuck it in so he can't get down that inside.
He's the door. He's covered that inside lovely again. I mean, three wide. Breathe in. You know, I don't blame SRI for backing out of that. Jason's gone wide. Gary may have been a little bit too friendly on the throttle, though. Does manage to just stay ahead as Art Pal gets a bit out of shape and into the barrier. Gary into the barrier now. That'll put Jason on the back of him with nowhere really to go. And here comes Jimmy and SRI's having a look at the inside of Jason.
Contact.
Oh, and here comes Dave. Oh, good luck. 2 wide, 2 by 2 over the mountain. All right, then. Someone's going to end in the gravel, surely. Oh, and don't call me Shirley.
Jimmy's sneaking in there as well. Oh, Dave Darp sneaking in there.
That was an impression of the marshals at that corner. Dave got a little bit wobbly. Jimmy's gone deep. Oh dear, Jimmy's disappeared. Jimmy's around, I think. Oh dear.
Damien has fuel. Twilight's fuel. He's got a tank just under. Steve F1's got much more. SGP's got more.
Yeah, only a fraction. Art Pal's got about the same issues. Twilight Gary's got plenty. Jason SRI's got it. Dave's got loads. Okay, fascinating.
They're not fill it and then they overfilled it.
Quite possibly. I'm just trying to work it out though. What we're at 3. You know what? We may have this and one more lap. It's difficult to know for certain. What we have got once again is Steve F1 on the back of Twilight. Let's see Twilight defend that. Oh, that's the opportunity Steve F1 was looking for. Twilight will be kicking himself, and if he isn't, the missus will be. What do you mean you had a chance a second and you left the door open? He's now going defensive on SGP. I mean, the thing is, SGP, go on.
He's got to keep his defence up here so it doesn't go backwards.
Yeah, don't want to get offline and plummet. Don't want to put a foot wrong now. And you don't want to say that wrong either.
What's it got in the front of his car? Is that a hatch leaf or something? Or is that the monster?
It's probably the monster. It's the monster logo. The monster scratch. You know what? I'm seeing a few of these guys fuel and it is less than a quarter of a tank. I don't know how much, what distance a quarter of a tank will do. I don't know if anybody... Well, some of them have got to be on the edge, surely.
I don't know. We'll find out. I can't remember the fuel.
Well, interestingly, as this battle builds here, Dave, excuse me, Gary. That's how you say Jason's name, by the way.
Johnson.
The time is now.
Up over the corner.
Yep.
Gonna have dirty tyres.
On the pack cam, SGP trying to make a move on Twilight into into the final corner. Couldn't quite get it done with those marbles. Jason! Oh dear. That's put Dave the ARP through. Gary making a move on ARP now on the pack cam. It's all kicking off. I was going to say, because of the amount of time left, this is now the last lap of the race. So, can SGP do anything about Twilight? SGP's not in the red yet. So, Twilight is...
He's forcing his way in inside line, isn't he? Yeah. Twilight's keeping it.
Oh, he's having none of it, isn't he? Lovely move. What a move from Twilight. Well, I suppose he's got to try that because I think he's going to run out of fuel in a minute. He's going to have to get out and push up the hill. And interestingly, Dave the Harp is catching up to these guys, and Dave's got loads of fuel. Pal's in the red. Oh, that could get critical very quickly. Oh, it really could. So I don't think Gary.
Gary hit the wobble.
Yeah, the wobbly wall, wobbly. Yeah, I don't think Arpal should really think about trying to attack Dave. Dave's on a charge with loads of fuel. Formerly Gary, he's on a bit of a charge. Go on.
Every place, if it's the last lap, every positions again.
Yep. Formerly Gary, I think he's just tagged the barrier again and lost a couple of positions. So that'll give Arpal a bit of a breather. But Jason is there. I don't know how much fuel Jason's got. Twilight on the pack cam. Looks
Jason's
like...
Oh, no, I thought we went to Jason, but we're not.
No. Twilight. Oh, look at how little amount of fuel Twilight's got. Can he hold on? He gets defensive again into the final chicane. And on the pack cam, they're going for it in the background as well. Dave the Arps off onto the grass. Demon R's going to cross the line to take the victory. Steve F1's going to go on.
Who's third? We don't care.
Twilight's held on. Has he got the fuel? Can SGP hold on? We're 3 wide. What are they doing now? The 2 wide SRI and Jimmy side by side ahead of Gary. Oh, and then ahead of Dave, and then ahead of Jason. Wow, what an end to the race. What an end. I've just misread something that's popped up on my screen. That it says how to shift like a pro, and I definitely didn't read it as shift. But yeah, what a race there. A lot happened on that last lap. How Twilight has held on there, I don't know, other than the fact that, defending for his life, but also SGP didn't have a lot of fuel either. We saw something happen. We saw Dave the Harp off. I do believe he was tagged by Jason, and that's why Jason has ended up behind Dave the Harp at the end. But yeah, what a race. What did you have to say about that one?
No, it was a fantastic race. I thought that mountain would have been causing more trouble than it actually did. Just a couple of people missing their braking zones and going deep, but what a fantastic race.
Absolutely. Oh. Yeah. Oh.
But, yeah, that finished Twilight. Well done.
Yeah. Very well done.
To you.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially
SGP
yeah, I think SGP had the inside coming out the chicane, the last chicane. So he had to keep his foot down round the outside and managed to keep it in the last corner. Yeah, some great. Unfortunately, Dave the Harp, didn't really see what happened, but his strategy seemed to be okay.
Well, his strategy would have been great if they'd have put fuel in his car.
Yeah, and he hadn't hit the wall.
Yeah. First pit stop, that was painful. Second pit stop. Oh no, hang on, was it the... No, sorry, was the second pit stop where he hit the wall and they didn't put fuel in at the same time, didn't they? So without either one of those, if the fuel had gone in the car, he would have come out close to the pack in the fight for the win. Without both of those problems, it'd have come out, I reckon, about 5th or 6th place, without having to save fuel to the end. So it could have been very different for Dave. But yeah, unfortunately, I think Rich DNF, but I think he was struggling with this particular track. I mean, it is the kind of track that if you don't get a lot of time to find the rhythm of it, can be a tough one to jump in and just go for it.
Yeah, especially that dip, because like a lot of guys in practice were finding it was sending them sideways.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, right. Well, we're not going to sit here and waffle about how well every driver's done. What we will mention, though, is obviously I think Stephen F1's going to be top of the table, but the gap will have closed in a little bit. But what we should do, Ray, is have a little chat about the next race.
Oh, damn. Next race, what's next race?
I've sent you some pictures on Facebook for it.
Facebook?
I tried sending them on Discord, but it said, computer said no.
Oh, yeah. Laguna Seca is the next race.
That it
which
is.
We do have a formation lap, and we do have go no go zone. I'm trying to work it out from the pictures.
Well, would you like me to help you?
So it starts, the go no go zone starts at the end of the green curb from the last corner.
Yep.
And where that's where the leader can decide when he wants to go, and the point that you can start the overtaking is at the gantry, the lights gantry next to the flag marshal.
Yeah, the big. It's actually a bridge, this one. But yeah, so this was a tricky one to sort of find some clear point to start the go no go zone, and rather than have, because we did think about having just no go zone and just the overtaking point, but having looked at the track, the final corner there is the curb and then there's the big green AstroTurf, and that quite clearly does come to an end, so I figured why not use that. It gives everybody a point to be aware from. And yeah, as you mentioned, the overtaking gantry where people can start overtaking from is the bridge at the start finish line. So yeah, fairly simple one there. Interesting track though, Laguna Seca in this car. But also a track that some may hate, just because of the nature of it. Dip a wheel and you're going to be getting a bit of a gravel rash.
Yeah, it's slippery, it's sandy, slippery, and then you got to watch the sausage curbs as well. You don't straddle one of them right, you're going to get launched.
Absolutely. Right, well, in a moment we shall check out the Confederation Championship standings, but I do want to mention that there is a G-Spot this week. It will be out on Tuesday, hopefully at 6 o'clock. But I just want to ask you, Ray, why don't boxers have sex before a big fight?
Why don't boxers or boxes?
Boxers.
Because they'd be dirty.
No, not... What? You know, boxers like Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Why don't... No, not boxers.
I thought it was a trick question.
No.
Boxers.
Why don't boxers have sex before a big fight? Usually because they don't like each other. And on that bombshell, on that uppercut, let's take a look at the Confirmed race results.
I think that was a knockout. It was
Confirmed points. And that was a 10-8 round to SRI. Or should I say Ray. Okay, confirmation of the race result then. Demon R, first place, maximum 20 points. Steve F1 in second, 17 for him. Twilight held on for that third place. Brilliant drive, 15 points for him. 2 more than SGP gets in fourth place. Art Powell held on for fifth place. Jimmy got sixth, and SRI seventh, with Formula Gary in eighth. Had a big wobble on the final corner, massively unlucky. Dave the Harp even more unlucky, getting tagged a little bit by Jason. So Dave the Harp 9th, Jason 10th, and Rich Blues with a DNF. But he did seem to enjoy watching the rest of the race on a deck chair in the Australian sun, a bit like a certain Spaniard we know. Yeah. Okay, confirmed championship standings. Steve F1 still leads the way, 102 points. Now it's only 5 ahead of Demon R with 3 races to go. SGP in third place, he's 5 ahead of Art Pal in fourth. There's still a battle there. Twilight fifth, he could possibly catch them if he can have a very good final 3 races. Conrad drops down to 6th place, but he's now tied with Dave the Harp on 55 points. And then we've got Formula Gary, only 2 behind them in 8th place. He's 6 ahead of SRI in 9th, who's 6 ahead of Jimmy in 10th, who's only 3 ahead of Jason in 11th. There's then a 10-point gap to Bob in 12th place, and then an 8-point gap to Rich Blues in 13th. Hay on 14 points still in 14th place, apologies, and as I mentioned in the race, hopefully feeling better soon. Good luck with all of the treatment. And then we've got the non-scorers. Okay, as we mentioned, the next race is Laguna Seca. It's a beast, we know it is. Anything can happen around there. Anyone could win the race around there. There's only one way we're going to find out who it's going to be, and that's to actually hit the track, preferably not each other, hit the track, race, and see who comes out on top, or see who comes out less on the bottom, with as many few gravel rushes as possible. Right, thanks for watching. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell. Tell everybody you know about this so that you can have some mates to watch and maybe have a party and a few beers. And maybe you can get them to walk home. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you all again soon.